What's up, a Cinema Shogun here, and yet another day goes by and there is still no sign of Quinton Simon. They have been out there searching for days now, looking for any sign of Quinton. And as far as we know, they haven't found anything at all yet, and I know it is getting frustrating. However, we were told, and you have to keep in mind, that this can take weeks on end. And that's if Quinton is really at that landfill. I'm starting to question things just a tad bit. Just a tad bit. But other than that, we don't really have any updates. But I know we've been talking about it for the past couple of days. About how Quinton Simon's mom and his grandma, they were caught out partying on Tybee Island at the beach. They were taking shots, eating seafood. They even stayed at the Sandcastle Motel or whatever on the beach. And I could sit here and rant for an hour about how frustrated that made me, about how disgusting I think that is. But I'm going to spare you all this time. I'm not going to go on that rant because I found out an interesting piece of information. Well, while they were at Stingray's, the restaurant they went to eat at, they were being loud. They spent over $300, taking shots. They even were hitting on one of the waiters, tried to give their number out, tried to get his number, just acting as if nothing happened. But they were on camera the whole time. And now law enforcement has gone to Stingray's and they got the surveillance footage of the entire feast, of the entire festivities that Leilani, Quinton's mom, and Billy Joe, Quinton's grandma, had. Now, why would they do that? If they're so sure that Quinton is out of this landfill, and they're sure that, they got it honed in, Quinton's mom is most likely the one that did it, why would they need surveillance footage from Stingray's? And I mean, they got video of the whole entire night. Now that sticks out to me for obvious reasons. For one, I know while we sit here and we judge Leilani and Billy Joe for going out and living their life and partying and eating as if their grandson and son isn't being searched for in a freaking trash dump, one thing that really stuck out to me is, okay, I totally feel like they're the type of people to go do something like this. To not even read the room, to just go party while this search is going on. I believe they're shitty enough people to do that. However, I wonder if they're nervous about talking to each other in their own home. They're probably nervous about talking to each other in their vehicles. So I think there's a possibility that when these two want to have a conversation and they want to really discuss things, they go out to eat or they go to the motel, they go somewhere else. Because I'm sure that they're freaking nervous, that they're paranoid. Listen, if they're doing substances and they're putting stuff up their nose and they're smoking on stuff and popping things, then that would probably make them just a little more nervous and paranoid as is. Add on the fact that, oh, your son is dead and you're probably going to go to jail. You know what I mean? So I would assume they're really paranoid. And who knows if FBI bugged the house or something happened. So I believe that maybe they're going out to eat and they're doing these things so they could really communicate and get whatever story together that they're going to use going forward. Because I think that they're starting to, I don't know. It's like with the Brian Laundrie situation. When the Laundries, while Gabby was missing, they went on that camping trip. Like, if you pay attention to these cases, it's like that was their camping trip, this trip to Tybee. I think that this may have been a trip for them to really get their ish together about what they're going to do moving forward. Because Quinton hasn't been found yet. She still hasn't been arrested. And while it looked like Billy Joe and Leilani were at odds at first, it's starting to appear that that's not the case. It's starting to appear that Billy Joe and Leilani are a little closer than you think. So, law enforcement, did they go and get this tape because they're going to read their lips, see what type of conversations they were having, or see if they could listen in? Who knows? Did they get these tapes because they want to see who they were meeting up with at that bar? Because it wasn't just Leilani and it wasn't just Billy Joe. I believe there was other people there as well. Also, you got to think about how out of touch this is. Let's say this goes to a trial one day, right? Leilani gets arrested. How is it going to look to jurors when they see these photos and this video of them out there eating shrimp and knocking back shots as little Quinton is getting searched for? This is starting to look more and more like the Casey Anthony case. A lot of people have called that out. And at this point, it's like you try not to be like, oh, this is like this case, this is like this case. But at this point, there's so many striking similarities there that it's hard not to compare, And we know that Casey Anthony got off. And I've been telling you all for a while that I'm not so sure that this woman won't get off as well. But how would this look in court? How would this look to people? The perception of you is already not going to be so good because we know that you never looked for your kid. You never pleaded for your kid to be found. Nothing. And now you're out here partying. But regardless, obviously law enforcement and investigators thought it was important enough to go gather that footage. Now, we know that they were at the motel. They had other people at the motel with them. Someone was dumb enough to bring their child over there. Why would you go meet a suspected baby killer with your child? That's really gross and disgusting to me as well, right? But I don't know. It's a really, really weird, strange family, okay? Of murderers and killers and addicts and whatever the hell else is in this family. Probably freaking Dracula. Who knows? It's almost Halloween. Who knows what's going to pop out of that freaking house? A lot of people have been saying it looks like the Amityville Horror House, or it reminds them of it. And I do get that creepy vibe as well, but at the end of the day, I don't know what's going to happen going forward. Obviously, none of us know. We have to keep hope alive that Quinton is found soon. But the longer it goes, man, the more worried I get that this woman is going to walk away scot-free. So hopefully Quinton is found soon. Could be weeks, could be days, could be any moment now. You never know. But as of right now, at the very least, we know that investigators, they haven't just ended everything right here at this landfill. If they're out there gathering video evidence from them being out to eat and stuff, I wonder what avenues they're really looking into. Like, why did you need this footage? Are you curious about who she's meeting up with? If maybe, for all we know, she could be meeting up with someone that's going to help her haul ass. Okay? A lot of people are under like this impression that, oh, someone was like, she's not a flight risk because she's on probation. That's not going to stop her. Also, people think that you have to have a lot of money. Like you have to be a millionaire to run away. I don't think it would cost that much. If they could spend $300 at the bar getting shots and eating oysters, I guarantee you they could come up with enough money to get a freaking druggie to drive her down to the border or drive her somewhere. And when it came to Brian Laundrie, everyone thought he was at his house. Just because you're a flight risk, or it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get on a plane and fly, far, far away, like the way a lot of people think it is. Like, you could just run a couple of blocks away from your house, and we'll have another Brian Laundrie situation. You could be dead somewhere in a freaking creek, and no one will know for months or weeks, and then it'll be a whole nother search. So, who knows how this is going to end? I expect that things are going to get crazier. And the reason why I expect that is because it's gotten crazy so far. I mean, we've gotten nothing but craziness. So I expect it to get worse, to be honest. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.